In the last episode, we were talking about how to create objects with basic data properties. We had created two people. Well, really, we don't know who they are, what they are. These could be turtles or dogs, doesn't matter. As long as all we know is we have two objects, first name and last name attributes on each one. We have Bob and we have Jen. And we can clear with typing clear. So in this episode, we're going to run through how to add functions to the objects themselves. And when a function lives on an object, we typically call it a method. So I want to define a function on Bob called full name. So I'm going to say Bob dot full name equals function, open and close parentheses, open and close curly braces. You can hit shift and then enter in the middle in the JavaScript console to move to a new line, sort of like if you're typing in Facebook Messenger. And inside of here, we're going to define our method. So one way we could do this, which would be sort of useful maybe, but probably not really what we want, is we just say return Bob Jenkins. And that is technically the full name. Now when you return is basically just saying, like, when I call this method, give whatever I'm returning back to me as the answer. So now we can say Bob dot full name, and because it is in fact a function, you have to put the parentheses on here to call it, and it does call or it does return back what we said. So what happens if I change Bob's first name? So if I said Bob dot first name equals Seth. Okay, let's take a look at Bob. So we have first name Seth, last name Jenkins, and then a function. So now if I call Bob dot full name, it still says Bob Jenkins, which is incorrect. So how do we deal with this? The answer is the keyword this. So let's redefine that function again. So whenever we're inside of an object and you call or use the keyword this, it refers to the object you're inside of. So if I say like this dot first name, and then I can say plus an empty space in the middle, and then plus this dot last name. And let's see what happens now if we call Bob dot full name. So now we get the correct name. So let's clear one more time and let's update Bob dot last name just so you can see this is definitely working. And we can say Bob dot full name, and we get the updated name. So this is an interesting concept, and when I say this, I mean the keyword this, and we're not going to cover it in depth here, but just remember that whenever you're inside an object, you can type this and it will tell you, or it will refer to the object you're inside of. And for example, if I just type this here in the open, it's going to point to the window. So all JavaScript, as far as I know, executes inside of some kind of object. So whenever you're running code just straight in the browser, if you're just writing kind of naked functions into some HTML or something, those functions are getting attached to the window object. So for example, if I say function hello, and in here I just return hello as a string. Now if I look at my this again and I look, this is going to have a ton of stuff to find on it, but it's also going to have my hello function. So that's interesting, and just so this should tell you a little bit more about what you're doing whenever you're just writing plain functions. There's a lot of thought that you can put into how to structure your code and that sort of thing, which we won't get into here. But anyway, that's it for this one. If you like this video, please click subscribe and like the video. I think in the next episode we're going to probably talk a little bit about how to make these objects interact with each other. So I'll talk to you next time.